What if I revealed something to you that completely dismantles the most popular narrative circulating about SB19 right now? SB19 didn't withdraw from fan shoutouts because arrogance quietly replaced gratitude, not because they gradually forgot the foundation that built everything they've become, and absolutely categorically not because Filipino supporters suddenly matter less to them than international recognition does. What if the genuine truth is this? They stopped because that's precisely what artists operating at genuine global scale are professionally required to do. And before that statement triggers any emotional reaction inside you, sit with one deeply uncomfortable question first. When did BTS last casually acknowledge a random fan's birthday during a live stream appearance? When did BLACKPINK last deliver spontaneous personal shoutouts during interview segments? You already know the answer without needing to search for it. So when respected entertainment commentator Ogie Diaz suggested that SB19's reduced shoutout frequency communicated an attitudinal shift, and on the immediate surface level, that perspective sounds emotionally reasonable and completely relatable. But here's the critical distinction that changes everything. Relatable doesn't mean accurate. Emotional interpretation is not the same instrument as industry reality. Because once an artist reaches the operational level SB19 currently occupies, every single public interaction stops being casual conversation. It transforms into brand currency with real measurable value and real measurable consequences. The dangerous myth about humility in entertainment. One deeply embedded misconception requires direct confrontation here. The belief that genuine humility in entertainment translates directly into constant, unlimited personal accessibility. That notion feels emotionally satisfying and culturally comfortable, but professionally, it's quietly destructive to everything serious artists spend years constructing. Within the global music industry operating at its highest levels, unlimited personal accessibility systematically destroys brand equity. The fundamental reason is straightforward. When access carries no limitation, attention loses its inherent value entirely. This isn't arrogance being dressed in sophisticated language. This is basic economics governing how perception and value interact within entertainment ecosystems. What BTS and BLACKPINK reveal about this moment? During their developmental years, BTS personally acknowledged fan names, celebrated individual birthdays publicly, and created intimate, personalized moments with their community. Currently, their fan interactions are carefully controlled, channeled exclusively through official structured events, and governed by precisely curated messaging frameworks. BLACKPINK followed an identical developmental trajectory. As their global influence expanded beyond manageable spontaneity, unstructured fan interactions systematically disappeared from their public behavior. The underlying reason operates across multiple simultaneous dimensions. At genuine global scale, a casual shoutout transforms into an implicit brand endorsement. A birthday greeting transforms into perceived favoritism among millions of supporters. A spontaneous mention transforms into a potential legal and public relations exposure requiring management attention. Certain artists have faced genuinely serious legal consequences originating from completely harmless casual mentions made without considering downstream implications. SB19 is no longer simply a beloved music collective. They are simultaneously a corporation, an internationally recognized brand, and a cross-border entertainment property with stakeholders extending far beyond their immediate fan community. That reality changes every single public communication decision they make. The brutal mathematics of fan shoutout culture. Consider this calculation with honest eyes. If SB19 delivered one personalized shoutout daily throughout an entire calendar year, that generates 365 acknowledged supporters. Their actual community numbers in the millions. The inevitable consequence, the moment any individual supporter receives acknowledgement, thousands of equally devoted supporters experience the precise feeling of invisible irrelevance. Appreciation transforms into expectation. Engagement transforms into entitlement. That psychological dynamic isn't healthy for supporters experiencing it, and it's professionally unsustainable for artists attempting to maintain it indefinitely. Fan service versus genuine fan respect. The distinction that resolves this entire debate is straightforward once articulated clearly. Fan service represents continuous emotional labor demanded indefinitely without sustainable boundaries. Genuine fan respect represents structural decisions that protect the long-term viability of everything supporters actually invested in when they chose to believe in SB19. SB19 choosing deliberate structure over spontaneous accessibility isn't abandonment dressed in professional language. It's longevity architecture being constructed in real time. Why this perspective misses the actual industry reality. Ogie Diaz operates from a traditional domestic entertainment framework, a framework that functioned effectively and served the industry well before globalization fundamentally restructured every rule governing how artists must operate at scale. But SB19 is no longer competing within that framework. They're navigating the identical operational territory that HYBE manages for BTS, that YG manages for BLACKPINK, that every major international touring act manages when their audience expands beyond what personal, spontaneous accessibility can sustainably serve. Applying outdated local entertainment standards to an artist operating at international infrastructure level produces the same logical confusion as criticizing commercial aviation for failing to behave like a bicycle. The transportation category has changed entirely. The evaluation standards must change accordingly. To every supporter who genuinely feels this distance, your emotional experience is completely valid and deserves honest acknowledgement. Growth frequently registers as loss, especially for supporters who committed their loyalty during the earliest and most vulnerable chapters of SB19's journey. But here is what deserves equal acknowledgement. SB19 didn't leave their community behind. They are carrying everyone forward, simply through mechanisms that don't manifest as visible livestream moments anymore. Every global artist eventually encounters this precise inflection point. The moment when genuine love must evolve into sustainable structure, when open accessibility must transform into intentional engagement, when continued growth demands the discipline to disappoint some expectations in service of honoring larger ones. SB19 didn't withdraw from Shoutouts because they forgot their identity. They withdrew because they finally completely understand what they're actively in the process of becoming. And that distinction between chasing viral recognition and constructing lasting legacy, that's everything. Subscribe to SB19 Beatzone because the truth behind extraordinary success is rarely as simple as it appears from the outside looking in.